That will help. Thanks, Claudia. All right. Hi, everyone. Thanks for participating either on our YouTube page or our Facebook page, or if you're watching this in your class, thank you so much. I am Mr. Bruno. I am the College and Career Counselor. November is Career Month at Round Lake High School. So thank you for participating. I, again, am Mr. Bruno. I am the College and Career Counselor. If you haven't had a chance to meet me yet, even if it's virtually, you can always reach out to me if you have any questions, not just college related, but also career related. We have a lot of partners here from CLC right now that are available to talk to you pretty much all the time. Claudia Padilla, who's going to be on the screen with you, is our CLC navigator. Claudia is waving to you right now. Claudia is the first resource when it comes to thinking all things CLC. So if any of the panelists that speak today are speaking about something you're really passionate about, if you're thinking about automotive technology, automotive collision, if you're thinking about welding, if you're thinking about any of the trades that CLC have to offer, Claudia is your first resource. Claudia is the person that will help you get into the program. She will get you into these programs where you get to work with the people that we'll be speaking to today, our panelists. So you will work with me and you will work with Claudia, and then you will be on your way to CLC to get into these classes. So I know a lot of the times people think, oh, I don't want to go to college because it's 4 years, it's 6 years, it's 8 years. There are a lot of programs out there that are 2-year programs or less, and you can get your certification, you can get your associate's degree, and you are in the job force really, really quickly, and you're making really great, decent, really, really good money right out the gate. So we have an awesome group of people today that are going to be speaking to you. We have Felipe from Automotive Technology. We have Octavia, who's going to be talking to you about automotive collision repair. We have Karsten that's going to be talking to you about welding. And we may get Brandon from CAD drafting. There was a major storm last night, so Brandon may be able to pop on. If not, I will get some follow-up information later about CAD drafting, and I will send it out along with this video with your teacher. But there's plenty of information out there. Again, you can reach out to Claudia at any time, and she'll be able to get you that information. Miguel Morales, that's next to me on the screen, is also a go-to guy when it comes to all the things. He has helped us put this whole panel together today. He's been instrumental in getting this career panel together. So thank you, Miguel, for putting this all together for us today. I know, Miguel, you said before we start automotive technology with Felipe, you were going to show a video. Is there anything you wanted to say before we showed the video?
No, just thank you for the opportunity and hello to everyone.
Awesome. Let's start with the video for automotive technology, and then Felipe, the floor will be yours. All right, Felipe, the floor is yours.
Well, hello, everyone. Unfortunately, we weren't able to hear the audio on that video. Hopefully, we can put a link on there so everybody could still look that up and take a peek at it and listen to what they have to say. But hi, my name's Felipe Valtier. I am one of the instructors for the Automotive Technology Department here at CLC. First, I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time and listening to our presentations, learning more about our programs and what they offer as careers. So let me share my screen. So one thing that I wanted everybody to know is, or after you watch the video, if you were to hear the audio, it would have been a little bit more clear. But it's that the automotive program, the automotive industry offers more careers, more things that you do within that industry as opposed to just fixing cars. In the video, it talks about a student that wants to be a racer. They want to race cars. They want to build high performance engines. Another one of the students wants to have their own business. They want to learn how to fix vehicles so they can support their family, so they can support the people around them. And then another one of the students wanted to go into manufacturing. They wanted to design new technology for vehicles. So that's something that's very important. Always keep an open mind. Automotive technology is not just about fixing cars. There is a lot of things that go into it. So with automotive technology, there are a few different, or quite a few different careers that you can do. The most common being a technician. And when you are a technician, you could work for a dealership that works on one specific brand, or you can work for an independent. So for an independent, say you want to go out into the world and you want to work on Hondas and Toyotas and Nissans and Chevys, you'd work for something like an independent dealership, an independent repair facility. And those are smaller, usually mom and pops type stores that are, in neighborhoods and things like that. You could also be part of the corporate world if that's what you want. And for the corporate world, you could do a lot of things with automotive. You can be a corporate trainer. You can be a field technician that goes out and helps technicians working at these dealerships fix complex problems and things that they can't fix on their own. You could also work for a research and development for these corporations. You could test the components that they just designed. You could help install them on new vehicles. You can test new vehicles. And also with corporate comes parts, designing these parts that are going to go on the vehicles, and also working for the parts sector where you're delivering, managing all of the analytics of getting those parts out to the repair facilities. Another part of the automotive industry is the aftermarket. Aftermarket's huge. A lot of people enjoy putting stereos on their vehicles, putting performance parts, cold air intake, superchargers, turbos. People want to be able to tune their vehicle. Accessories with alarms, radios, that kind of thing, and parts as well. Vehicles are always breaking. Vehicles always need to get fixed. So we need to have a way that we can supply these customers with these parts. So it's not just a one direction kind of career. It can lead to many different things. So at CLC, to help you do this, there are a lot of different options. We do have certificate options. These are what we call mini certificates. They are pretty quick to get. Some of these you can get in up to 1 semester. So you go to CLC, take automotive, about 4 courses, and at the end of that semester, you can have 1 certificate. Having that 1 certificate gives you the ability to go out into the industry and present something showing that you have knowledge and get your foot in the door, being able to start off as something. These are just some of the certificates that we offer. Air conditioning, I would say that one is going to take you the longest. It usually takes about about 4 semesters to complete, but you would have taken every single one of the automotive courses in our program. The automotive degree that we offer is an associate's in automotive technology. With an associate's, that's going to include that big certificate that I mentioned, and also all of the general education courses. So you'd still have to take your English, your math, your science. The benefit of having an automotive technician degree and associates is that all of your credits that you earned are transferable. So say once you get into the field, you're working on vehicles or doing whatever, you want to further your education, you want to earn a bachelor's degree. Well, you can. And all of the courses that you took at CLC are transferable, and they will go towards your bachelor's degree if that's what you would like to do. So a few different choices that we have in our program. So a little bit about the automotive industry and how it's affected me and my life. I was a CLC student. I graduated from CLC. I could tell you that before I started going to CLC for automotive technology, I had no reason to really want to work on cars. I was coming out of high school. I had a part-time job washing cars, and I enjoyed it. It was a good time. I liked looking at all the vehicles, the different makes, different models. So I decided to take a engines class at CLC. That was my first class I took. I enjoyed it so much that I ended up getting a job at a dealership, just moving cars around. From that, I went and moved up to being a lube tech and then being a master technician for a Toyota dealership. For about 14 years, I was working on vehicles. From that, I decided to expand my career and still stayed within the automotive industry or the engine industry. And I started working for corporate America. I worked for Kubota Engines America, and I was their corporate trainer for a while. People would fly into here to Lincolnshire. I would train them on how to fix engines, how they operated, and how to test. And from there, I decided I still wanted to get my hands dirty. I still enjoyed taking things apart. And I started working at CLC as a full-time instructor. So the one thing I do want everybody to take away from this is there are many career options, there are many career paths. It's not just go in and fix vehicles. You can go ahead and be your own business owner. You can just work on vehicles and fix them, which is great. They do a lot for sustaining me and my family. It's been great, and I do encourage everybody to go ahead and check out the automotive technology program.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Felipe. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So let's stick to automotive. Let's flip to the other side of automotive. So moving away from automotive technology, let's move over to the automotive collision repair side. I'm going to get the video started, or ask for Octavio start the video, and we're going to talk about automotive collision repair. Octavio is actually going to also show us around the actual lab today too. So we're not just going to, we're going to actually get to see students working in the actual lab, which is really cool. So Octavio, the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. My name is Octavio Cavazos. I'm Department Chair for Automotive Collision Repair. And I'm actually going to turn this a little bit back over to Miguel so that he can start our video for us. Once the video comes up, we will have a live shot of us actually working in the shop because we're teaching classes right now. Miguel, can you please start the video for us?
If you love cars, enjoy using your hands, and want to make cars look great, you can become trained for a good-paying job in the automotive collision repair industry at the College of Lake County. CLC instructors have many years of combined teaching and work experience to expertly help students perfect their skills using industry standard equipment and techniques. In the structural and non-structural area, we teach the proper disassembly and assembly process of today's vehicles, including the latest in plastics repair, using today's high-tech adhesives and plastic welding systems.
I'm taking this class because I'm an estimator at a body shop, and hopefully one day I can manage my own shop.
You'll learn metal straightening theories, skills, and welding on both steel and aluminum. In the mechanical and electrical area, you'll learn current repair techniques, along with basic electrical theory and diagnostic skills. You will work with the latest electrical testing equipment and vehicle ABS, airbag, and powertrain control systems. In the refinishing area, you'll learn all aspects of vehicle refinishing during the collision repair process. You'll gain experience with 4 of the top industry paint manufacturers' paint systems and perfect your skills in paint mixing, matching, and blending.
My goal is to become an automotive refinishing technician, and I really love the program here at CLC.
Our program offers you the ability to complete your iCar certification, along with a 2-year degree or one of 5 specialty certificates. Our state-of-the-art shop features a 10,000 square foot auto lab plus 3 classrooms. Classes start in August, January, and June, so contact us today to find out how you can become part of this in-demand profession. Plus, College of Lake County tuition is much lower than other schools, and we offer classes during the day or in the evening.
Can everybody see me? All right.
Good.
Well, welcome everybody. This is the Automotive Collision Repair Facility. It's our lab over here at the College of Lake County. I'm going to walk you through some of the classes that are going on right now. Some of the students are actually out here working in the shop, so you can see that we actually have hands-on skills that we enforce based with the theory-based part of the education. Our shop is located on the Grace Lake campus, and we have all facets of automotive collision repair that are being taught here in the shop. Everybody say hi to Alexander. Alexander is one of our students that's part of our pilot program. He's actually working on a car, learning the skills that he needs to be able to go out and get a job in the field. He's currently interviewing for a couple of different positions, and he's waiting to hear back before he can go out and fulfill his apprenticeship program out in the field itself. As part of that, he has just received this new toolbox. Thumbs up, Alexander. That is part of the apprenticeship program. So we try to facilitate not only the skills, but also some of the tools that the students will need when they go out into the program. As you can see, we have many different projects going on in the shop. Over here, if I haven't gotten you busy so far, we have another class. Everybody say hello. Hello. In this class, this is our refinishing class. And this class is actually working on preparing panels to get them into the spray booth to make sure that they can apply the different colors and techniques for the painting process. We will be walking into one of the spray booths so you can see what it looks like on the inside to get a panel ready and paint. Right here, you can see the students have been working on hoods. We have 6 hoods set up for 6 students to be able to come in here and paint. So in about 10, 15 minutes, maybe if they're still broadcasting, we'll be able to show you students actually in the booth painting these hoods. Now, as I said, our facility houses everything that a technician will need to learn all the skills needed for the refinishing process. Here's another booth. Yep, that's the one you need. Here's another one of our students. Say hi, Sergio. He's actually working on getting his panels ready to go. Now, why did I choose automotive collision repair? I really didn't choose automotive collision repair. My background is actually in automotive service. Much like Mr. Felipe, I came to school and learned how to work on cars' brake systems, transmissions, electrical system components. And I went out into the field, started making lots of money working on cars. Well, I made a lot of friends in the body shop area because I was very fortunate to be able to work in a dealership that actually had a body shop attached next to it. And who doesn't like having a nice, cool car that has a great paint job on it? No rust. Well, my friends in the body shop decided that it was time for me to learn the skills that they were doing to be able to fix my cars for them. So in a little bartering, I went to the School of Hard Knocks. I learned how to do paint work. I learned how to do structural repair. I learned how to straighten out dents and replace dents and cut out rust. And as the years progressed, I had an opportunity to apply here at the College of Lake County and be able to teach the automotive collision industry. So I was very fortunate that I took all of the liberties that were available to me to be able to learn whatever skill set I needed to be successful in the field that I was in. And that's what I would encourage you. Make sure you don't ever close the door behind you. Always make sure that you have an opportunity to learn as much as possible of whatever career you want to go in. And education is not something that somebody can take away from you. It is yours for life. Whether you go into automotive collision repair or you go into automotive service, welding, CNC, medical field, whatever you do, make sure you put your best foot forward and be available for when that door opens up. Now, having said that, in our automotive collision program, we have 5 certificates. We call those specialty certificates, and we prepare students to be able to go into the industry and get a job immediately upon completing those certificates. Now, those areas are going to be very specific, and they're not going to train a technician for the entire area. Now, our 2-year associate's degree is also available for the students to choose from that. And in that 2-year degree, you will learn all facets of automotive collision repair. And that will prepare the student to enter the field as a collision technician and be a very well-rounded individual. As I said, I started as a service technician. I learned how to fix brakes, how to change a tire. I learned how to do oil changes before I became a body technician. But as doors opened up, I wasn't afraid to step through them, and I wasn't afraid to learn. And that's what's gotten me to where I am today. Everyone has always asked me, Mr. Cavazos, did you always want to be a teacher? And I tell all my students, no. When I was in high school, if somebody asked me, what do you want to be? I would have told them, I want to be an automotive technician. I want to work on cars. Never in my mind did I ever think I was going to be a teacher. And yet here I am in my career, 15 years later, being a teacher and running an entire department and having students learn from the skills that I learned over the years of experience. And that's a very good feeling that I have and something that is very positive for my students. So as I tell you, make sure you go out and you learn as much as you can, put your best foot forward, and surround yourself with a bunch of good people that will lead you to be very, very successful. Any questions? I'm going to go down here to the chat. Let's see. Nobody's posting any questions. James?
I do have some questions that we'll get to at the end so we can ask overall. I do have some questions that students sent me previously. So if you will, are you going to stay on with us for a little bit?
Absolutely, I'm here.
Perfect.
I just want to put my computer down because I don't want you guys getting all dizzy.
Okay, great. Well, we will do the questions after Carson Welding. We'll do questions for everybody. Thank you, Octavio. Thank you for showing us all around. It's awesome.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Karsten, you're going to talk to us about welding. And we have...
I've got it. Someone said it says cannot start my video because the host has stopped it.
Let me see what I can do here. How about now?
Thank you.
All right. And I will
All right. So First and foremost, thank you for this opportunity to talk to you guys a little bit about about welding and the role that College of Lake County plays in training individuals for a career in welding. So before I show you my little introduction video, let me just give you a quick description of what welding is. Welding is the process of joining materials together by the act of fusion. And fusion usually comes in the form of heat, right? It's most commonly associated with metals, melting metals together. But there's also other processes of welding with thermoplastics and other materials. So that's basically the idea behind welding, right? It is joining materials by the process of heat and or pressure. So Miguel, can you click on the intro video for me, please? Short and sweet and right to the point. It's a quick overview that shows all the different things that are associated with welding. Now, before I tell you a little bit about those choices, let me tell you a little bit about the career benefits. Security. Welding is one of the highest demand careers out there. There is a shortage of almost 500,000 welders in our country over the next couple of years. That means it's a high demand. That means it's easy to get a job with the right skills, right? So it is with security for your future in the career of welding, because it's in such high demand. Now, one of the other benefits associated with welding is your travel opportunities. There is no limitations on where you can work when you are a welder. You may decide that being up north here, as winter starts to set in, maybe you want to be down south working on the Gulf somewhere, right? Maybe you want to be out in California. Maybe you want to go overseas and work someplace else. When you have those trade skills associated with welding, the travel opportunities are immense. One of the other benefits associated with welding is the independence. Now, as you can see from some of my pictures here, particularly this one in the middle, top middle, where they're working on a pipeline, yeah, you work with other people. But generally, welding is a very unique individual talent and skill where you work independently to accomplish a project, a job, a responsibility, whatever context that you would want to put it in. So there's a lot of independence that comes along with being a welder. And finally, one of the other benefits associated with welding is the money. Most jobs, intro-level jobs, you can reasonably support yourself with an intro-level job. Now, as you progress through your career, And as you become more and more experienced, the opportunities to increase your financial capabilities increases, right? And that's kind of the same for across the board. One of the other things to keep in mind when it comes to money is, depending on what aspect of welding you are in will reflect the amount of pay. All right, so somebody who is out in Wyoming, South Dakota, or Alaska, working on the oil and gas pipeline are going to make a different rate of pay, or have a different rate of pay, say, to the artist, right? Now, some artists can make a lot of money, but generally speaking, somebody who is a welding artist, they are not going to have the same rate of pay as somebody that is working on the pipeline. So depending on what type of avenue you may choose to go down, or aspect of welding you may choose to go down, there is some relevance to the amount of pay that will reflect that, right? So when it comes to choices, there's something that I'm kind of hearing here throughout this presentation, right? When we talk about automotive technology, when we talk about auto collision repair, there is not a limitation to what you can do within these trades. Each one has this very broad spectrum of different areas that you can work in when it comes to these things, right? Welding is no different. So when we talk about welding, a lot of people will think handrails and dumpsters, right? Well, there's some truth to that. Handrails and dumpsters do need to be made, but there's a lot of other choices out there other than your handrails and dumpsters that need to be made. Some of those include the transportation business. So transportation is not just limited to cars and trains and planes. Top left-hand corner here is a picture of a specialty custom-built motorcycle, where a lot of the components, including the main chassis and the fuel tank and the seat and things like that, were all handmade and hand welded. Other things would include lower left-hand picture here that shows an individual working on a high-rise, putting together a building. And these individuals are known as iron workers. Another opportunity or another career choice would be the oil and gas business. And again, referring to this top middle picture here, again, you can see them working on a pipeline. Some other ones that would be included in that, or choices that would be available to you, is being an artist. There is a significant number of individuals that come into welding because they want to be an artist. And an artist is not limited to putting paint on paper, right? Art can be in the form of creating this motorcycle in the top left-hand corner, or creating this little bulldog here out of metal on the right-hand side here. Another facet of career choices include technology. We just started, well, actually, we haven't just started it. It will start in spring of 2021, a new robotics welding program. And there's a lot of technology that goes behind that. So although the robot in the bottom right-hand picture here may be doing the actual welding, we need people to understand how the robots work. They need to understand how to program the robot. They need to work with different fixtures to hold parts for the robot to weld. And they also need to understand what welding is and how it works. So when there is a problem that comes up, the robot doesn't solve the problem. The individual operating the robot needs to evaluate those welds, evaluate what is going on, and make the proper adjustments with the machine. So it's very technology oriented in some facets of welding, if that's your thing. One of the last choices that I wanted to, or opportunities that I kind of wanted to point out, was the inspection, right? Welding inspection is probably one of the best paying jobs. And it also has some of the most opportunities available when it comes to traveling and pay and some of these other things that we talked about earlier. Inspection would be going out to a job site or going into a company and evaluating the welds, evaluating the quality of the welds, and certifying those as meeting certain standards that are set by AWS, which is the American Welding Society. That is who kind of governs our industry when it comes to welding. Now, as far as education and getting your foot in the door and kind of getting the ball rolling with this, CLC offers a variety of classes and certificates and different paths that you can go down, like any of these trades that we've talked about. So one of the things that we offer that is easy to get involved with as a high school student is we have dual credit programs through the Lake County Tech campus that you may have an opportunity to enroll in. You can take some of their intro level welding courses, and you can take, there's a blueprint class, and you take those as a high school student and they transfer into the college courses, or you get college credit for them is what I should say. That's why they're called dual credit, right? So you take it as a high school student, you are earning college credit as a high school student. Now, with any of these other programs, about all the different types of certificates, we offer the same stuff, right? We offer several process specific certifications, okay? Because welding is not just one cut and dry type of skill. There's all different types of processes of welding. Okay, some of you may be familiar with the name MIG welding, right? TIG welding, stick welding. These are all different types of processes of fusing material together, most commonly metal, right? In those aforementioned ones. So if you wanted to earn a certificate in MIG welding, you can do that. If you want to earn a certificate in stick welding, you can do that. And those are some of our short-term certificates, where in as little as a couple of semesters, you can get those credits and those skills developed and get your foot in the door at a company and start working in the field of welding. After that, we go into a general welding certificate, which takes more time, but it encompasses a lot of these processes, right? So a general welding certificate would include your stick welding, your MIG welding, your TIG welding, gas welding, all of these under one general certificate. That is what we call a long-term certificate. Then we go into a 2-year program where you would earn your associate's degree. Now, in addition to welding, we also do a lot of fabrication work, right? We deal with bending material, cutting material, drilling material, grinding material. So when you come into our program to learn how to weld, not only do you learn the theory, including safety and why we do something the way that we do, you will learn how to identify material, identify metals, different types of metals, and associate the appropriate welding technique for that type of metal, for that type of joint, right? Because when we join material together, it becomes a joint or an assembly. So we like to, I shouldn't say we like to, it is necessary to understand these additional principles with welding outside of just how to melt metal together, right? There's a whole nother ball of information that you need to learn in order to start your career with this. So that's really the overview of our program. Now, I was asked to talk a little bit about myself. So I'm the department chair of welding at College of Lake County, and I'm also the faculty instructor. I got involved with welding probably, I'm going on, I think, 18 years now. I come from the motorsports industry, and I worked with motorcycle design, motorcycle chassis fabrication and design was my primary background. Why? Because I loved motorcycles. I loved building motorcycles. I loved working with my hands. I loved racing motorcycles. I raced motorcycles for 20 years and traveled the country, met a lot of interesting people. And when I was early on in my racing career, that's all I wanted to do was play and build with bikes. And welding and building things out of metal gave me that opportunity to do so. This bike in the left-hand corner, that is one of the last bikes that I built about 2 years ago prior to coming to CLC to be a full-time instructor. I love working with my hands. I love working with metal, and I really enjoy teaching. That's why I'm here today. So that's really the overview of our program, a little bit about myself. And with all of these trades, again, whether it's automotive collision repair, automotive technology, machining, excuse me, which you didn't have the opportunity to see today, but machining, CAD and drafting, all of these are not limited to this narrow window of what we may or may not do within these trades. All of these trades offer a vast array of different segments within this realm of a specific trade, right? So that's really the thing that I want to leave you with, is that A, you can make a great career out of any of these. B, you're always working with your hands and always doing something really cool. And C, it's not limited to one particular thing within these trades. A lot of different opportunities out there, and our community, our industry, our country, our world needs more people going into these trades and stuff. I'll be happy to answer any questions. My contact information will be available. Thank you again very much for your time.
Thank you, Carson. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for all the information. I appreciate it. I know I have some questions. There was a question that came through on the chat that I just wanted to answer overall for everybody that I know Miguel answered in the chat, but I want to read it out loud so that way for those students that are seeing this video later. There was a question about, can I, as a student, take any of these courses while I go to Round Lake High School? And I know, Karsten, you answered that question while you were talking about how you can get dual credit through CLC while you're at Round Lake High School. I do want to let everybody know that it is November 11th right now. So if you're watching this video in like January, please know that we will be sending out pretty shortly in the next few weeks here an email will be coming out from Miss Smith or Miss Schaefer, traditionally from Miss Smith, about signing up for Tech Campus. When that email comes out, you need to make sure you are one of the students that signs up for that pretty quickly. And there are a few steps in order to sign up for Tech Campus. Be on top of it. You should be checking your emails every day as you become an adult, and I'm sure everybody on this chat can tell you, you have responsibilities. One of them is making sure you check your emails every day. So check your emails, follow through with the instructions that you need to do. It is first come, first served to sign up for Tech Campus, but every person that spoke today, there is an opportunity to take these courses while at Round Lake High School. And then that way you can actually participate while you're at school and you can go take these courses. So I think that's really important to understand. You don't have to wait. If you're a freshman, you don't have to wait 4 years to get into this. If you're a junior right now, you don't have to wait another 2 years to be a part of this. You can do this next year. So get on top of that. Claudia, if you can jump on camera real fast, I'm going to ask you for 1 second before we open up question and answer. If you'll share real fast with us, Claudia. I know that we have 3 of our courses on here today. Can you really quickly share a few more of the trades that are available, just to give an idea of how many trades you offer at CLC, just to show that we're not limited to just a few, that CLC really is pretty it's a pretty wide amount of trades. You're on mute for me, my friend.
Oh, there we are. Okay, I'm going to share my screen quick here. So everyone that's on the call and that will be watching this video later, so essentially CLC, the reason we're so unique is because of a bunch of the different career degrees and certificates that we offer that also then kind of stack into some of the associates that we offered that you heard some of the individuals talk about today. But on our homepage, so anytime you go onto the CLC homepage, in the Google search box, if you type in maybe a career that you're thinking about or a trade that you're thinking about, or even if you just want to kind of see all of them, you can just go ahead and type in career degrees there or certificates. And it's going to bring up this very lovely list. So we have over 40 that you can honestly pretty much click on each one of them. For example, I had CAD up just because we weren't able to hear from them today. But these are just some of them, right? So some of them will have individual videos. Some of them, they'll tell you kind of what are some of those individual certificates that you may have access to be able to complete. There is information about faculty, professors, and exactly about how transferring works if you did kind of want to do that with them. But this is just, I mean, the large list of some of them. So just variation. So we do have the hospitality and culinary management, human services, legal studies, machine tool trades, medical imaging. So anyone that's maybe thinking about like sonography or doing x-rays or anything like that. Sorry, my dog is pulling me here. But you know, all this information is obviously always available to you guys. And then see how we have some of those videos that you might have seen today where we have students that are actually talking about it. But yeah, that's just some of the information about the career programs that we do offer.
Thanks, Claudia. Yeah, I just wanted everybody to know that there are, 40 plus programs at CLC. You're getting to see a nice in-depth for 3 of them only. Today, there's 40 plus at CLC. So it's really nice to know that there is such a huge amount of programs so close to home, and you can get through these programs in a short period of time. You don't need to worry about going 4 years, and monetary wise, it's not super expensive. You're not going to be spending $40,000-$60,000 to go to school. So 2 questions that I received emails that everybody can speak to that I received the most questions about, and I'm sure you're not surprised. You each answered, I think, well, the number 1 question was like, can I afford to live with these jobs? And you all answered that question already, so we won't go into that one. But the other 2 questions I received the most was, can I get a job while I'm in school being in this profession? And then number 2 was like, how long does it take before I get to be hands-on? I think that students are concerned that it's going to be a year or 2 before they even get to like A, be working on cars, or B, be working with metal in the welding. So can you, maybe we'll just go in the order that we talk. So Felipe, if you want to answer the questions, and Octavio, and then Karsten. So A, if you start working in automotive technology, what does it look like to get a job? And then how long before you get hands-on in your classroom?
Sure. So we are hands-on usually right away. The first class that you will take is Introduction to Automotive Technology. So we do go over safety. That's a big thing with all of our classes. So that'll take about a week or so. Then after that, you will be hands-on. All of our other courses, again, they will do some introductory lecture, but within the first few weeks, you're hands-on. A lot of the pictures that were in my presentation, those are entry-level classes that we offer. You saw pictures of students working on engines. That's usually a lower level class that you take your first or second semester. So it's fairly quick. As far as getting a job in the field, you can do that right away. You don't necessarily have to start doing heavy repairs on things. You can start being a porter, being a lube tech, where with 1 certificate, you're able to go out there, show them that you have knowledge of vehicles and get a job fixing them.
Perfect. Thank you.
So fairly fast.
Awesome. Octavia?
There we go. Okay. Very similar to what Felipe said. We do have an Introduction to Collision Repair course, which showcases and teaches the student all the different facets of automotive collision repair. Very strong emphasis on safety. We do not want to have any student enter the shop that is not familiar with the equipment, the safety protocols, or environmental regulations that are out there that technicians will have to face. But having said that, within a week to 2 weeks of enrolling in a program and showing up and doing the homework, you will be expected to have all of your personal protection equipment and tools ready to rock and roll to go out into the shop. One of the things that attracts a lot of students to our programs is the skill sets, the hands-on portion. I myself can read a book and read a book and read a book and not get it. But if somebody shows me what I just read, I get that aha moment. And that's what a lot of our students get, is that aha moment when we actually put the tools, put the vehicles, the welders, all the different equipment that they're going to be using out in the industry in front of them. So it is very important, at least for automotive, for welding, to make sure that the students are doing what we are teaching, making sure that they have the hands-on portion. It's almost as important, if not more important, than they actually have the skill set to perform the tasks. We're asking, at least in automotive, I'm asking my students to put a cart back together that can weigh anywhere between 2,000 to 10,000 pounds and go down the road doing 50, 60, 80 miles an hour, and with everybody else's lives at stake, because they're on the same roads that everybody else is going to be doing. So safety, following procedures, knowing how to do the job right is crucial. And the only way you're going to be able to learn to do that is to actually do the job itself. As far as the enrollment process, yeah, you enroll in a couple of the classes. We do have prerequisites and co-requisites, so that's something that you should definitely reach out to your advisors or the instructors in the programs to give you the best pathway. And I forgot the third question.
What about the job aspect? Is it possible to get a job, maybe not specifically in the field, but like Felipe was saying, like becoming a porter or working like at like a local car dealership? Like, do you have any